Welcome back to another episode of CrossFit Khalipa, short form podcast where we dive into something I'm thinking about for this upcoming week. And of course, we should each be drinking a little bit of coffee. Topic conversation. Just do it right. Do it right. It's that simple. If you take away anything from this podcast, just anytime you're in doubt, just do it right. And here's what I mean. So this upcoming week, I'm hosting a Train Hard Men's Club workout. I don't know how many people we're going to have. I think we're going to have maybe 30, 40 guys show up and it's going to be badass. But I just got in these brand new sandbags from GoRuck, kettlebells, these jerry cans you carry, and each one of them requires a ton of sand. So I've already gone to Home Depot. I already went to the beach, got some sand there. That was a pain in the butt. I'm like, all right, let's go to Home Depot. I go to Home Depot. I buy these 60-pound bags, and that ended up being great. But I bought 2,000 pounds of sand, and I didn't have enough. So I'm driving by this school, and I see this pile of sand. It looks like, basically you could use it to fill up sandbags for when there's like a flood. I'm like, let me just use a little bit of that to fill up the rest of these sandbags. But I knew it wasn't the right call. I knew it was wet. I knew I just shouldn't be doing it. But yet still, I didn't want to do it right. I was too lazy to go back to Home Depot. I was too lazy to have the bags I need to open. I just wanted in the bed of my truck. And so sure enough, I shoveled some of the bed of my truck. It was wet. I shouldn't have used it. I knew I shouldn't have used it. So I'm driving home. I get home. I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to stuff these things. And as I'm doing it, I just remind myself, Jay, you're not doing it right. You're not on the path. You're going to regret this later. Your sandbags are going to become moldy because of the wetness of the sand. This type of sand isn't as good as other sand that we could have used. And you're not doing it right. And you were too lazy to go to Home Depot to get more sand. Maybe you were even being cheap because you want to spend the $6 a bag. But in either case, you're not doing it right and you're going to regret this later on is what I told myself. And so sure enough, I took my son and his friend, I took them back to the sand. I had them unload my truck with me to put all the sand back. And it was just a really good lesson today. This happened today. That when you have a sign in your head that's saying, hey, you're probably not doing this right. You're probably skipping steps. You're probably cutting corners. Take a deep breath, backtrack, and just do it right. Because it's better for me to do it right like this now than to go a year or two down the line or 6 months down the line and this bag starts to become nasty or is always wet, is the bag that nobody ever wants to use when they're doing a workout because they know which ones are already moist and wet because of the mistakes that I made earlier on. So my advice to you is think about things in your life that come up. Do it right. Do it once because time and time again, I find myself slipping into this category and I got to check myself. And so if I'm checking myself, you should be checking yourself too. I hope you're enjoying these CrossFit Khalipas, things that are on my mind, business, family, fitness. Hope you go back, check out the other episodes. Got a lot of exciting things coming up. Simple ask. If you're getting value from these CrossFit Khalipas, if they're making an impact on you, 2 things. Make sure to join our newsletter and make sure to leave our podcast review. We don't have any ads on these things. We have the Yeti question of the week, but aside from that, you never get pitched anything, right? But the pitch is simple. If this provides you value, leave us a rating. It helps out the podcast. I hope you and your family are doing incredibly well. Keep kicking ass. See you again next week. Let's go.